35 games so far, so I don't think he's pressed yet. But as he starts to get into 65, 70 appearances, it'll be interesting to see how he's able to stand up to that. And also, you know, he's going 2 innings here now. He always was a 1-inning pitcher in Japan. The numbers indicate that, and now having to pitch a 2nd inning, you know, there's not much to go on as to how he can handle this type of situation.
Will be interesting. A meeting here to make sure everybody's on the same page as to how they're going to play this. As Takatsu will be facing Hunter. Zigian, the former shortstop, and a real good one here in Chicago. Now their manager.
Hit the gapper, hit it off the wall, driving 2 runs that way.
Wow. Jones did have a hit his last time up. He's gone 1 for 4. Runners at 2nd and 3rd now, but they're 2 down.
You know, I remember my rookie year, I laid down a bunt in Los Angeles. I got on first base, and I'm safe. And Eddie Murray comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, kid, do you think all these people paid to see you bunt today?" You know, that's my point here. Do you think all the fans in Minnesota right now were wanting Torrey Hunter to bunt?
No, nobody.
They're wanting him to drive the runs in. You know, that's your job. That's what this team requires of you. You're not a Timo Perez type player.
Lobs that one up down the left field side. Carlos Lee coming. Valentin over, says, "I got it." He didn't.
Well, that's tough. You can't give them extra chances like that. It comes back to burn you.
You know, it's just a tough day today for, I mean, long.
All right, around the horn, we're at the 2 rounds. Here's how they stand. Kevin Blackistone in the lead with 17. Jay Mariotti has 16. Woody Page bringing up the rear with 14. And Jay Adon, they went after me, and he went after my family, so he went down hard.
It's out of bounds.
Leading off, prized Miami Hurricanes football recruit Willie Williams will be admitted to the university despite a lengthy arrest record. Williams has been arrested 11 times since 1999, including 2 separate episodes in Gainesville, Florida this summer. Canes coach Larry Coker did not rule out the possibility of Williams getting some playing time this season, but said he must abide by what the school says are tougher academic standards. Guys, you have a problem with the University of Miami admitting Willie Williams. Jay Mariotti.
Yes, every time I go to a Miami Bowl game, they tell me, "Oh, we've gotten rid of our criminal past. We have a new program, new administration. It's a new day at Miami." Then why did you let this kid in with 10 arrests? They can recruit, Tony, anybody in the country. Now you're just bringing back the old residue, and I'm wondering what kind of program they're running down there.
Mariotti, what do you want to do with him? You just want to turn him out in the street with a cardboard sign? Give him a chance. He's still a young man. We're not talking about a school that's Harvard or Stanford or the University of Tennessee.
That's definitely
This is a school that basically has opened its arms to people of this ilk in the past, young men, and they've turned a lot of them around. I don't know why you want to just dismiss everybody. Maybe you'd just rather he go to prison and spend the next 10 years.
All right. Blackistone.
I like that idea, and I'm all for it, and I hope it works out for Willie Williams. But the problem with this is this is why we become cynical about college athletics. The only reason Willie Williams is going to University of Miami, a private institution that sees itself as the Harvard of the state of Florida, by the way, the only reason they're letting him in is because he's an outstanding football player, and they're thin at linebacker. So how many second chances should a guy get?
I think, though, it's really tough for Miami because it's a no-win situation. Either they deprive a kid that they said they were going to give an education to of that education, or they bring in a guy and everybody says they're back to their old outlaw ways. Very tough situation for Miami. Let's move on. Former professional wrestler Brock Lesnar, a.k.a. the next big thing, signed a contract with the Minnesota Vikings on Tuesday. The 6'3", 286-pounder wants to win a spot on the defensive line, and Vikes director of college scouting said he's a project with a capital P. He's got physical tools, but has a long way to go. Guys are professional wrestlers, athletes. Around the horn to Kevin Blackistone.
Of course they're athletes. The Rock, what was he? A football player. Stone Cold Steve Austin, what was he? A football player. Go way back. Ernie Ladd, football player. Go way back. Bronco Nagurski, played football. Go back 1946, first black player in the NFL. Woody Strode, what'd he do? He became a wrestler after his day of playing. Of course these guys are athletes.
Hello, Kevin. It's fake. You do know it's not real. I am insulted every time somebody tries to group the WWF in with real sports. Sports is drama. Sports is real. I love sports. I hate wrestling. Yes, when they cross over and play football, they're athletes. But when they're in the ring, this is not sports.
That's not the question, Jabroni.
Yes,
it's WWE. First of all, catch up. Secondly, these are athletes. They have to do athletic moves. Have you ever seen Cirque du Soleil? Those people are athletes. Cirque du Soleil. Wrestling athletes have to be.
Well, they're doing something that's athletic. I'm not sure if that makes them athletes. If you would like for it to be real, athletics is all about having some sort of outcome that's real and, you know, for the real thing. Woody Page, Cirque du Soleil, gets you voted off the show. Any last words?
Yes, I want to see Mariotti get into the ring. We'll find out how.
Both of you guys, stop. It's a showdown, and it's going to be Kevin Blackistone and Jay Mariotti, where 2 men enter and only 1 man leaves the ring. Next, coming up, will Mike Tyson's next tomato can opponent last more than 1 round? Oh, hit me with it. Throwdown time. Blackistone versus Mariotti. Let's get right to it. Leading off, Yankee Sox was one thing. The Rangers and Angels beat everybody to the punch yesterday as they brawled before the game in batting practice. Check that out. Not happy about being yelled at the night before the game. Anaheim fielder Adam Kennedy went after Texas catcher Gerald Laird, and a scrum broke out. Guys, how do you like your brawls? In-game or pre-game? Kevin, go.
Oh, no question. It's got to be in-game. I mean, I got to talk to Gerald Laird. If you're going to have a fight, have it when the TV cameras are all there and everybody's in the stands and they paid their money and you've got your popcorn and your Cracker Jacks. You don't want to do it before the game. I mean, this is what makes
Kevin,
it great.
I don't want my games being disrupted by little boys throwing purpose pitches. I saw it in Chicago last week. It gets nothing accomplished. Play the game. The Cardinals hit the ball over the fence. The Cubs are throwing at people. If you got to get it done, do it before the game, not during the game.
Before the game? Come on. That's even more pointless than in the game. Both of these are stupid. They have no place. Point for you, Blackistone. Let's move on. Cincinnati Bengals training camp opens on Friday, and the starting QB will be Carson Palmer. Coach Marvin Lewis selected the #1 from 2 years ago over John Kitna. Kitna, you'll recall, led the Bengals to a non-losing record and won a little award I like to call NFL Comeback Player of the Year. So who should it be? Palmer or Kitna? 15 seconds. Go, Mariotti.
I mean, this is frugal. This is pathetic. You got to be kidding me here. John Kitna, 3,600 yards, 26 touchdown passes. Finally, this awful franchise is respectable, and they bench the guy for a rookie. I don't care what they're paying Carson Palmer. This is stupid.
Jay, come on. You know, it's all about the future now. They're trying not to be the Bungles anymore, but the Bengals in a legitimate NFL franchise. Go with the young guy, develop him. Carson Palmer, you invested a whole lot in him with the draft pick. You gave him a lot of money. He's the youngster. He's the guy.
John Kitna was an MVP candidate up until the last 2 weeks of the season last year. He should be starting game 1 this year. And finally, 2 moments we've all been waiting for. Mike Tyson back in the ring this weekend in Louisville, taking on Danny Williams. Who? Exactly. Meanwhile, Robbie Knievel will jump 6 jets on top of an aircraft carrier floating in New York Harbor. Naturally. Which 30-second event are you more likely to watch? 15 seconds, Kevin. Go.
Oh, it's easy. You know, I've already had enough of Mike Tyson talking to Jeremy Schaap this week. Give me Knievel. One thing I miss in sports, Saturday afternoon when one of the Knievels is trying to jump over a gorge or a bunch of cars in a Las Vegas parking lot, and now what's he going to jump over? I mean, listen, I want to see that. I haven't seen it.
As far as I know, nobody's going to die in the ring in Louisville. I don't want to watch Robbie Knievel crash and die. We have enough concerns in a couple weeks what's going to happen in Athens. You know, I'll watch Tyson. I'm not going to watch this guy crash. That's pathetic.
Jay, how did you bring Athens up in a discussion?
Because I'm nervous. I'm very nervous about Athens.
And a point for you, Blackistone. Enjoy this one. 15 seconds of yours. Go.
Thank you. I hear the ACC is trying to get a proposal passed to give athletes 5 years of eligible playing time now. Good idea, but not for sports. They need that for athletics. Extra time to graduate. Make the scholarship stretch to 5 or 6 years, but don't suck more money out of these kids who are not being paid anymore.
All right, that's it. A 4-day break for us. You do the math. We'll see you on Monday around the Horn.
4 days without
Around the Horn is a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Want the Parker's family?
Tony and I aren't here today because we needed a little time away from each other.
He'll come back to me. They always do.
Duh.
Welcome to Pardon the Interruption. I'm Stephen A. Smith of the Philadelphia Inquirer, and I'm here joined by my man Skip Bayless of the San Jose Mercury News. What's going on?
If we have to argue about Ricky Williams again today, I'm retiring.
You're about to retire. Among today's topics, will Mike Tyson get back on top? Is LeBron James the star of Team USA? And who should be the new James Bond, believe it or not? But first, we have to get to some of these trade rumors. After weeks of trade rumors, it appears the Diamondbacks are at a standoff with their star pitcher. According to the Newark Star-Ledger, Johnson's agent has told the Diamondbacks, quote, if you don't trade him to the Yankees, you're going to have one unhappy player, end quote. The Diamondbacks, meanwhile, believe they can drive a better deal out of the Angels. And today, Peter Gammons, the Godfather, that's what I call him, is reporting that Johnson has told Arizona he will not accept the trade to the Dodgers. So, Skip, should the D-backs even care what Johnson wants at all right now?
No, he's under contract, and I think they're going to keep him because your New York Yankees aren't offering nearly enough. I loved what Joe Garagiola, the GM, of course, of the Diamondbacks, said in response to that threat about unhappy player. He said, how can you tell the difference? The big unit is always a big pain. I think he's being a big weenie for not taking that deal to Anaheim, which is the best deal. They're only 2.5 games out of the wild card, but he wants to go to your Yankees because that's the safest bet.
Oh, it's not the safest bet.
Yes,
you know, you call it the evil empire. I call it the winningest franchise in
You have no
baseball
objectivity.
history. I don't care what you think. The fact of the matter is he should be with the Pinstripes. They need him. Arizona is the worst team in baseball. We all know this. And don't get me wrong, I completely agree with you. He's under contract. He should be obligated
They can't
to
give
fulfill
him
that.
away.
I understand that. I'm not saying that they should, but remember, he's shown an ability to be a disgruntled individual and a dividing force in that locker room, not just for this season, but for seasons to come. You got to get rid of that man if you can.
He just wants to get Kurt Schilling, I think, you know, who's rivaling Boston. From the big unit to the big ho-hum, Greg Maddux tries to become only the 22nd pitcher in history to win 300 games Sunday, so there's the hoopla. When Roger Clemens was chasing 300 last season, it was as hyped and marketed as Mark McGwire chasing Roger Maris. Why so little build-up for Maddux, Stephen A?
Well, first of all, let me give you the obvious answer. He's not playing for the Yankees the way Roger Clemens was.
I knew that was
All right,
coming.
that's the obvious answer. The other side is this. In all those years he was in Atlanta, they won 12 consecutive division titles. What happened? In 1995, yes, they won the World Series, but that's one time out of 12. You know what? We get accustomed to you getting but so far, but at the same time not finishing the deal. That is Maddox's reputation. Plus, he does not want the attention. If you don't want the attention and you didn't do anything tremendously spectacular to deserve it, like win a few World Series, that may factor into the equation.
He is not as captivating to fans on and off the field as some Texas
Nor does he care to be, nor does he care to be.
I understand, but he's not that Texas fireballer like Roger Clemens. Throws 85 miles an hour at best.
He's not throwing bats at players
very
either.
bookish looking. He's an artist. He throws some of the greatest trick pitches I've seen in history, but people can't get their arms around it. And again, he didn't throw a bat and a ball at Mike Piazza.
Unfortunately, it didn't help him win more than one World Series in Atlanta. That's my position. You know we can't let a day go by without a Ricky Williams story. You know that, Skip. In today's episode, we've learned the Dolphins may ask their newly retired running back to return more than $8 million in incentives and bonuses that he collected as far back as his rookie year with the Saints. Now the Dolphins may have the right to the money, Skip, but won't they come across looking a bit childish and petty?
Well, that's kind of editorializing in your question, right?
Yes,
Absolutely not. They spent 2 first-round draft choices on this strange kid who left them high and dry on the verge of training camp. They could have gone back and gotten, obviously, Corey Dillon. They could have made a run for Eddie George. Robert Smith, who retired at 28 to go to medical school, said that Ricky Williams told him 6 months ago that he was going to retire. They deserve a rebate on this, and that's what the contract says they're going to get.
There is no NFL team that deserves a rebate on anything. They don't even have a players union as far as I'm concerned. I don't care. You know, I will. They don't even have a players union as far as I'm concerned. These players have absolutely no rights whatsoever. If that player signs a contract but he gets injured, they get to cut him, waive him, or do whatever to conserve money. These guys signed a $17 billion contract. They're making money hand over feet. The guy gave them 2 years. He had more carries than anybody in the NFL.
Why do you always take the players' side?
Please, because the players deserve to have somebody take their side, because certainly these franchises do nothing, very little to nothing to support
You are
them.
wearing me out.
I'm sorry.
Star football recruit Willie Williams will be admitted to Miami despite a previously undisclosed arrest record. But University President Donna Shalala says Williams must abide by what she calls tougher academic standards. Do you believe her? Or is this a sign, Stephen A., that the bad old days are here again?
Neither. I don't believe her one bit, and I don't think this is a sign that the bad old days have returned.
This is shameful.
This is a specific individual that had trouble. They're taking him on. Certainly this academic standards and all that, that's a bunch of garbage. I don't believe that for 1 second. If the kid can play football, trust me, they will find a way to make sure he's eligible. However, this does not mean that there's a return to the bad old days. This is one bad apple. And who's to say he's a bad apple? He's young. He made some mistakes. Give the guy a chance to rectify
I will give you
himself.
this. He did score 1,100 on his SAT, but that is canceled by another number. 11 previous arrests, not one or two. This is his 12th chance, right?
Well, see,
let me ask you this.
Sure.
If he were not a football player...
He wouldn't get a chance like this.
That's right. And if Miami didn't have a football team, would they let him in their university?
No, they wouldn't.
Well,
but the fact of the matter is, they do have a football team. One of the best in college football.
We are going back to the era of thugs winning at Miami.
Going back to it, it never went anywhere. This is college sports. This is the way the world works. Get with the program.
I think you're making my point.
The games in Athens are just 2.5 weeks away for Team USA. So Bill Livingston of the Cleveland Plain Dealer writes in a piece today that LeBron James is the star of the team. Skip, with guys like Tim Duncan and Allen Iverson on the squad, should LeBron, just 19 years old, be considered the star of this team, or just someone everyone wants to watch?
I think Bill is right, and I must tell you, I was offended a little bit. It hit me the wrong way when I saw that tattoo across LeBron's back about chosen one. He is the chosen one. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be the leader of this team or the MVP, but he is the guy the American public will watch. He is the draw on this team beyond Duncan and your man Allen Iverson.
Yeah, but you have to put in the reason why. The reason why everyone in the world is going to want to watch this kid is because the NBA, Nike, and everybody else under the sun hyped and marketed him. Now, there's no question in my eyes he is the chosen one. He lived up to all the hype. He exceeded it. But when you look at Tim Duncan, when you look at Amari Stoudemire, when you look at Allen Iverson, when you look at Dwayne Wade, studs that are going to excel in Olympic competition. I'm not ready to say he's going to be the star of this team, but there's no question. After all the hype, everybody's going to want to watch him.
He's beyond Allen Iverson right now, and I know you follow him very closely, but I think this is a critical time for Allen Iverson. Is he just some hip-hop artist who's an uncoachable gunner, or is he going to be the captain of this team?
He's the real deal. We're taking a break, but when we come back, Mike Tyson is just 2 days away from getting back in the ring. Can he really be champ again? And later, pro wrestler Brock Lesnar has a contract from the Vikings. But will he ever see the field? I hope not, Skip. Oh, yeah.
Pardon the interruption. Presented by Red Stripe. It's beer. Hooray, beer.
Mike Tyson returns to the ring on Friday, trying to recapture a bit of glory and, of course, a ton of cash. Now we bring in a man who once trained Tyson, ESPN boxing analyst Teddy Atlas. What's going on, Teddy? How you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
You know what my first question to you is? Does Mike Tyson have a snowball's chance in hell of being the champion again anytime in the near future?
Well, he's going to knock this guy out in 2 or 3 rounds. But as far as becoming a champion, you know what, Stephen? The landscape is so wide open. It's like musical chairs with these guys. You know, sometimes it's not about how good you are, it's how bad the other guys are. And in this case, yeah, he's got a chance. There's so many spots there, so many openings there, so many different BS titles that, yeah, he can fit in because the last thing to go, George Foreman proved that, is power. And he can still punch. If he can hit somebody on the chin, yeah, he can win a title. Can he keep a title? No. Can he feel like he's supposed to feel and be really successful? I don't know. I wish he can for himself.
But, Teddy, this guy Danny Williams, this opponent coming up, says that Tyson's only 40% of what he used to be. Is that high or low?
Oh, it's about 30% too much for him. I mean, that's the bad news. I mean, there's good news and bad news about Danny Williams. You know, the good news is he did beat Julius Francis, this stiff heavyweight, the real softy from England. The bad news is he lost to him, too.
Teddy, what about this notion that Mike Tyson, despite the fact that he's lost, he got just beat to a pulp by Lennox Lewis. We all saw that. But for the most part, he hasn't really been through any wars throughout his career the way Evander Holyfield was and guys like that. What about the fact that he still has some life left in him, and if he just gets his act together, he could possibly regain the title and hold on to it for a bit longer than you speculated he may?
Well, again, I think, I'm talking about a lot of years I've been around. I don't know it all, but for him to stay there, that's a different situation. That's a whole different animal. But as far as winning a title, he can still punch. Yeah, you're right. He's not all used up. His problem has been always emotional, mental, and to this point now, technical. His technique's not that good. And mentally, he's not a disciplined guy. Look, he has trouble with resistance. If a guy's going to resist him and has enough technique to deal with his power, with his physical assets, and he has some physical assets, then all of a sudden he starts falling apart. He's not really, in a true sense, a real fighter anymore. He's a guy that puts on events right now, and he's a guy who's powerful and still has some ability.
Yeah, Teddy, exactly. I don't think people watch Mike Tyson anymore. I think they rubberneck his fights like they're a train wreck. Isn't that the appeal? It's like reality TV.
Yeah, unfortunately, I use a different word. You're right. And I'm surprised that you're on top of that way. They don't watch him. They gawk at him. And, and that's unfortunate. That's too bad that that's the situation. But now it is like a train wreck. It is like a car accident. People are stopping and rubbernecking to see. But that can't continue for too long. With the pulse of things now, with society the way it is, with all the bigger problems we have, I think that's worn out a lot. Don't forget, his last fight, he didn't do big numbers. I think his people now are looking to see what the numbers are. They don't know. This is uncharted waters for them. They don't even know if he can sell anymore. And I don't think it's going to be just a morbid curiosity anymore. That's why they're putting a guy there that he can knock out, and they can start to sell it on what it used to be sold on, that he knocks guys out.
Teddy, is boxing better off without him?
That's a good question. That's probably the right question. In the long haul, you could probably say yes, because in the short haul, yeah, it brings people to the television. It gives you a little bit of a shot of adrenaline. People get excited. They watch it. It brings people over that don't normally come over. But in the long haul, they connected with a bad thing. They start to say, well, every boxer's this way. Every boxer has problems. What do you expect from boxing? And that's not true. They're some of the most noble warriors there are. There's some of the best people out there. Guys like Vernon Forrest, Roy Jones, those are good people. But all of a sudden, they start to attach the sport to the problems of Mike Tyson. They say, you know what? We don't want to watch that. That's a nasty business, and it's not something we want to watch. So in the long term, he probably hurts it a little bit.
But, Teddy, this is all happening because we don't have enough quality heavyweight contenders. Your theory on why the dearth of those contenders?
Well, look, we don't have enough contenders because there's not as much interest. Boxing, to a certain extent, I hate to say that, it hurts me to even say this right now, but it's almost become a cult sport. It's not marketed properly. Your other sports that you guys do such a great job with, basketball and all the other ones with other guys, baseball, football, there's structure, there's infrastructure, there's a commission, there's promotion, there's PR, there's development in those things. They go to neighborhoods, they develop. There's nobody developing our sport, and that's unfortunate.
Hey, thanks a lot, Teddy. Thanks for joining us.
No
Teddy
problem.
Atlas, everybody.
Thanks, Teddy.
We're taking a break, but when we come back, the Eagles open training camp today. But will their season end early or late?
You'll be watching.
Yes, I will.
I know you.
Yes, I will. It's time for the game that's even hotter than I am. Over, under. That's right, Skip. Let's get the first number from the commissioner of Over and Under. Stat boy, what's up?
Remember, you guys got to pick over or under. None of this push garbage that Wilbon likes to do. First number, 8. The Miami Dolphins winning over or under 8 games this season.
Under. They were crumbling, Stephen A. before your man Ricky Williams stiffed them. I don't think they have a quarterback. I think they've lost faith in their coach, Dave Wanstead. I think they will put way too much pressure on the defense, as they did last year. It will fade in the second half, 6-10.
First of all, they never had much faith in Dave Wanstead. He was replacing Jimmy Johnson. It wasn't like he basically blew everybody out the water when he was coaching in Chicago. They still played for Secondly, and most importantly, you may not have a quarterback in Jay Fiedler, but A.J. Fiedler's not that bad. I think you're going to be surprised by how well he plays because he will be playing. 3, and more importantly, their defense is top-notch. Defense wins football games. They're a better than 500 team. And last but not least, they have the ultimate distraction other than La, meaning Southern California. I'm talking about South Beach.
You.
Oh, no.
That's where you like
It's more of a distraction for them than it is for me.
How many 10-7 games can you win?
Next. I'm
Not a number, but stay with me here. The NFC Championship game. The Eagles season going over or under the NFC Championship game next season.
This is easy. It's under because of your new man, Terrible Owens. He will start crumbling under the pressure that he crumbled under in San Francisco last year. Pretty soon, he will litter your carpet with drop passes. He will take this team down with him. He's a terrible distraction
I just don't know what's wrong with you. I don't even know to give you. I don't know what's wrong with you. Terrell Owens had to do everything in San Francisco. Here in Philadelphia, this is Donovan McNabb's team. It's not Terrell Owens' team. So you can cash that in. There is nobody that will stop the Eagles. And I'm being Mr. Optimistic here. The Philadelphia Eagles will be in the Super Bowl because of their defense, because of Andy Reid, and because Donovan McNabb will finally have a receiver to throw it to. And Terrell Owens doesn't have to do anything to catch the ball.
No, if Donovan McNabb were that good, he would have found some way to win one of the last 3 NFC championship
better than
games.
Jeff Garcia? Don't even answer. I'm afraid of your answer. Next, that boy.
All right, next one is 300. Tom Glavine winning over or under 300 games in his career.
Way over. He's only 38, right? I mean, he can pitch until he's 48 with those mechanics and that mind. He's at 259. I think he'll cruise way past 300.
Well, it would help him if he gets off of that joke of a team known as the New York Mets. They're not the evil empire.
They're not that bad. I think they're only 5 games out.
They weren't that bad until they won like 2 of their last 10 games or whatever.
The Yankees,
Please,
right?
That's right. They are not the Yankees. But Glavine, I have a lot of respect for him. He does have some time. All he's got to do is average like about 10 wins over the next 4 years, or 13 wins over the next three and a half. So I think he can get it done. I'll agree with you there, but he does need to get off the Mets. He might need to be on the Yankees, too.
But think about it.
He might need to be on the Yankees, too.
No, he's very healthy. Doesn't throw hard, right? He can just trick people. He could trick them for 10 more years.
And baseball is doing everything they possibly can to facilitate things for these pitchers as far as I'm
He'll
concerned.
probably be a Yankee by next year, right?
Next, that boy.
All right, we all know Tiger Woods is a slump, so over or under 4 more tries before he wins his next major.
I say over because he's got to get his wedding behind him, his honeymoon behind him. I think he needs to settle into marriage. I think he needs to get serious about golf again. I think he needs to swallow his pride and go back to Butch Harmon. That's going to take more than 1 year.
You know, you're hilarious. First of all, don't you know rule number 1? Once you're engaged, you're already married. It's just you just got to go through the stuff. He's been married. The minute he put himself on lockdown, he's been married. Number 2,
you're not married until you are married. Settle into
I'm
that.
glad you think so. I don't know what women you've been dealing with. I'm telling you that right now. It's life. Life is strange. Secondly, and more importantly, I'm picking under because he's been trying to perfect the swing. He's been toying with everybody else. He will be back. He is Tiger Woods. He will find a way to get it done. He's just protecting for you are perfecting the swing. That's what he's doing, Skip.
I want to know the last time you played golf. Ever.
2 weeks ago, actually, and I was horrible. Next, that boy.
Steven, you better tell Jennifer Lopez your deal. Once you get engaged, you're already married. Last one, number 1, number of career sacks for the wrestler Brock Lesnar in his career in the NFL.
Under, but I do think he could be the next governor of Minnesota, right?
No, I think he's going to get more than 1 sack. I mean, he's a defensive lineman. These quarterbacks today will fall into a sack. I mean, very few of them know how to scramble. It's not like he's got to worry about going against Michael Vick every Sunday. He'll get a sack. He's a big boy. He's strong from top to bottom. We know that. All you got to do is bulldoze. I mean, he can get to the quarterback. I think he'll get 2 sacks.
You know way too much about professional wrestling. That's all I need to know about you.
Hey. Goldberg.
Do you think it's tougher than pro football?
No, I don't think it's tougher than pro football, but it's tough enough where you can go on a pro football squad, be on the defensive line, and just find a way to bulldoze your way past somebody to get to a quarterback twice over 16 games.
They're not going to keep this joke of a guy. Randy Moss just won't stand for it.
He's not Randy Moss. Yeah. Oh, I know you done lost your mind. Is that it, man? That's it. Over and under is over. Time for a break, but don't go anywhere because we still got to talk about the new 007, a new job possibility for Ron Lee, and a brawl in Anaheim that may be the first of its kind. You like my James Bond look, Skip? I look smooth, don't I?
James Brown look to me.
Pardon the interruption. Presented by Red Stripe. It's beer, hooray beer. And in part by Holiday Inn Express. Stay smart. And Western Union, the fastest way to send money worldwide.
It's time to get happy, everybody. Happy 27th birthday, Manu Ginobili. It's shaping up to be a pretty good summer for you. This month, you signed a $52 million deal with the Spurs, and next month, you'll lead Team Argentina in the Olympics.
Re-signing Ginobili, the second best move of the NBA offseason after Miami stealing Shaq.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
A not-so-happy anniversary to Rick Neuheisel. On this day last year, you were fired as head coach of the Washington Huskies for participating in a March Madness office pool. Think you'll ever get another college job?
No, but to get a pro job because the NFL doesn't care about his NCAA indiscretion.
Maybe they should. Happy trails, Rod Woodson. You've been released by the Oakland Raiders after failing a physical with a bum left knee. He's an 11-time Pro Bowler who doesn't want to go out due to injury. Will someone pick him up, Skip?
Unfortunately not. I have as much respect for Rod Woodson as any player I ever covered, but his knees are shot.
I don't know if I have that much respect for Stat Boy, but we got to listen to him
What
anyway.
does that mean?
That's
What
right,
does that
man. You're
mean?
getting on me,
Bayless,
Stat
Skip,
Boy.
perfect show for you today. No mistakes. Now let me turn
Thank
my
you.
attention to Stephen A. Smith. He said Greg Maddux won 12 divisions in a row with the Braves, only 10 in a row with the Braves, because he started his career with the Cubs. And his postseason ERA, 3.2. Not that bad. I know his record is a 500, but the ERA is pretty good.
See what I'm saying? That's why
Don't bring it in.
I'm not going to let you hear the end of this.
All right, we're running out of time. Let's go to the big fish, Skip. The Angels and Rangers brawl during batting practice. Ever see that before?
No, but the Texas Rangers usually don't care enough to fight in late July. Fred McGriff is working out at the Yankee complex in Tampa. Should the Yanks sign him?
Of course, unless Jason Giambi is healthy. Smarty Jones may miss the Breeders' Cup because of injury. Will you miss him?
I don't miss anything with the Philadelphia connection except maybe you covering horse racing. Pierce Brosnan says he won't play 007 again. Who should take it over?
Hugh Jackman.
What?
He's smooth, he looks good, he's got that accent working, he's rugged. I like him
Sean
personally.
Connery, one and only Bond.
Whatever. Mike Price would take Ryan Leaf as his quarterback coach. Good idea?
Only if they both have a curfew.
That's what I'm talking about. Something wrong with that man. I'm serious. I don't have any idea what's wrong with Mike Price. We're running out of time. Thanks for watching. I'm Stephen A. Smith.
And I'm Skip Bayless. We're bumped for the rest of the week by the Senior Open. Have a great weekend.